Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
making progress on preparing for the sneaker ball. I'm always excited about all the evening events because we get to dress up, we get to put on our best and just hang out with each everyone. So I'm excited about the sneaker ball, and then the texture fashion presentation right on Sunday night.
Uh-huh. Ah, there you are, Dr. Sutton. Hey,
Hi, how y'all doing?
doing well. I was getting a little nervous. I was like, okay.
I was coming on in. I was coming on in.
All right, you are here. Thank God. Look, we've been through some things today, but I think we got the best of the best. So thank you. Let me introduce you guys. Uh, Jeanette Wright, our co-host here. We partners in crime. We're putting together the show here in Houston for October 5th through the 7th.
Yeah.
Meet Dr. Tish Sutton. Dr. Sutton is a industry icon in her own right, hailing from Atlanta, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm joining in from Atlanta.
Okay. So I guess, look, what time is it?
9 o'clock there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's nine
So
o'clock
we're gonna
here.
give you a few more minutes and try to let a couple of more people come in, and then like I said, my clock says 8:04. We're gonna give it till about 8:05, 8:06, and then we're gonna go ahead and get things started. But in the meantime, just a reminder for everyone that we have BUOR Beauty Under One Roof, BUOR Live coming in October 5th through the 7th at the Houston Marriott West Chase. We kick off on the 5th with a sneaker ball. Before that, we are going to do presentations and honor a couple of icons in our industry, Russell Chu being one of them. And Dr. Sutton's going to give us a little bit of background so you guys will understand why we feel it more than worthy to present him with an icon award at the show. And then also Doris Crawford, who was out out of Beaumont, Texas, had beauty school there, is very instrumental in the Texas State Beauty Cultures League and the National Association. So those two people will be receiving awards. After we do the awards, then we go into the sneaker ball. So we're hairstylists. We gonna, dress up like hairstylists and put on our kicks and then have a good time and network with each other on Saturday evening. And then on Sunday morning, we get up and we worship the Lord for all of his goodness and how great he's going to make this show. And then we break in the classes, the exhibit hall opens. We have the barber battle. I just saw someone ask about that. Sign in is at 1, battle starts at 2. We have student and professional barber battles going on. One of them is a team relay, 3 members, 1 model, only 2 pairs of clippers. So you guys have to get together and figure out which clippers or whose clippers y'all use and however y'all deal with that. And then a couple of individual battles as well. We have makeovers on veterans that Patrick Bradley and his fraternity sorority are actually doing for us. So we'll do a big reveal on those. We have domestic violence. We have cut, color, textured hair classes. We have how to break into the film industry. We have how to pivot in your career. We also have some domestic violence panel just because it's so prevalent in our world today. How do we get some resources for that? We also have some health and wellness going on, trichology, hair loss, male units, all kinds of activities and skill development on the male side of it. Just a whole plethora of things that we've got going on. So don't miss it. BeautyUnderOneRoof.com is where you get the information. We look forward to seeing you guys there, and let's join in with each other and help build. We have Cheryl Morrow, Willie Morrow's daughter, will be there talking about some new initiatives and the Afro Hair Summit. We have Rhonda O'Neill, who is a celebrity hairstylist out of LA. We have two people out of LA that are coming in, teaching us how to break into the movie industry, giving us some nuggets on how to deal with that. And then even just pivoting, Dr. Sutton pivoted. We're going to talk about that before we get into what I actually called her for, how she how she did that pivot in her career to stay relevant and keep doing things. So, guys, we got a lot going on that day. It's 2 days. That's Sunday and Monday. A lot of good things. TDLR will be there if you guys need to ask them some questions. If you're from Texas, some questions or whatever, they'll be there to answer questions with resources. We have, like I said, partner with the University of Maryland. We'll be doing some health screenings. We'll be doing voter registration, and we'll be talking about our business and how we get a larger piece of this billion-dollar business that we're all a part of. How do we be on the other end? We consume it, but how do we be on the other end where we're actually making some money? So that's kind of Beauty Under One Roof, BUOR, Beauty Barber Wellness Expo 2024, beautyunderoneroof.com. Go to the website or give us a call or a shout out or DM us, and we'll give you some more information if you need it. Okay? So that's our intro. Now, Dr. Sutton.
Yes.
All right, darling. So Dr. Sutton came in we kind of threw her into this kind of last minute, but she gracefully accepted the invitation to talk to us about the industry icon, Mr. Russell Chu.
Yes.
But before we get into Russell Chu, I got excited when they told me who you were, and I did 5 minutes worth of research on you. So if you would tell us who you are, a brief idea of how long you've been in the industry, how you made that pivot that I'm so excited about, and that stuff, what you're doing currently. So give us your elevator pitch.
Oh, wow. So I'll make it brief as possible. I definitely was that stylist that actually was the one that started out in the kitchen in high school. So I was one of those that came out of high school, came out the kitchen. So when I came out, I literally was into education, but I didn't think I would be doing it in the beauty industry. I just love to do hair. So immediately coming out of college, I end up going to beauty school. I was like, hey, I told my mother, like, hey, I'm going to school for education, but I love doing hair. So that's how I began my career. Originally from Brookhaven, Mississippi is where I graduated, and my parents lived, and I ended up in Chicago. So my first salon and my career started in Illinois. So I went on my very first 3 months of coming out of beauty school. I decided I wanted to open up my own salon.
Okay.
Didn't have a clue on how to do business. Didn't know. I'm just learning sanitation, of course, because I'm just getting out of beauty school, right? So I jumped right in there. I opened my own salon, and of course, that's where I learned a lot about business. Because I had the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs. But I was able to push through, and I owned a salon and I owned a barbershop in Illinois, and then I ended up moving to Atlanta, where I reside now. So back in '08, I came here, and my business began just to thrive. So I own salon suites here, I own multi salons here, and just did a lot of great things. And I became that person that was the go-to for business, because I was that person that came out and had faith to step out and open my own salon 3 months into the industry. I was that person that had multi salons and owned barbershops that I had no clue what I was doing. So there was a lot of lessons that I learned through that journey.
Uh-huh.
So I was able to share them through the platform that God, was able to, that blessed me with. So I became in the industry that person that people came to for business. So how to start your barbershop, how to start your beauty school, how to, anything, how to start your own product line, because I was that person that would definitely step out and do it. And
Love
so I
it.
had the experience based on just trial and error. So I could definitely say, hey, I tried this. This didn't work. For marketing and branding, my eyesore is always when I transitioned from Illinois to Atlanta, it was that fear factor that a lot of us in the industry that we have, because we make our money behind the chair. Okay, so that was definitely a faith walk to transition from one state to the next, because this is how I eat, behind the chair. So now I have to rebuild a clientele. I have to rebuild my salon, all of these different things. And I was blessed to have a lot of platform. Russell True has definitely been an instrumental part of my journey. I've had the opportunity to grace many states, many countries through the hair industry. I was Bronner Brothers Educational Director. I've been on many platforms throughout the country, and I'm just blessed to even meet you guys today. I'm sure we probably passed each other hundreds of times.
We have. I'm sure all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I'm glad to be here today, and definitely, just tell my story and just tell about the greatness of Russell True today.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for graciously accepting the invitation or the challenge of the day.
Absolutely.
So you're invited here primarily to talk about an industry icon, Mr. Russell True. And anyone who's been in the industry for a few years, especially down south, you know or have heard of Russell True. And if you haven't, you have probably been in his presence and just didn't realize who he was. So tell me how you became to know Mr. True, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, great. So my brother is in the industry. So he was a product distributor.
Okay.
So he was a product distributor along the side of Mr. Russell True. So all I knew was to work in a salon behind the chair. That's what I knew. And so he came to me one day. He was like, hey, it's this guy that's looking for some platform artists. I didn't know what a platform artist was. I didn't know about educated. I knew how to do hair behind the chair. So it was a challenge for me. I'm like, okay, great. I'll do it. And that individual was Russell True.
Okay.
So I was rough, not polished, just coming from behind the chair. And he took me under his wing and literally was like, everybody that knows Russell True, we know him. He was like, girl, now look, we gonna get you together.
Okay.
He was like, cause you good, girl, and you can sail. So, and that's how I got my start. So he had enough faith to believe in me and saw past what I couldn't even see within myself. And from there, it was just the lessons that he taught each person that, came in his presence about, what to do industry wise and how to grow and how to build. And that's how I end up meeting Mr. Russell True. And from there, I just listened, I studied. I was a student of listening to the things that he said, and then just even watching him to see how he did the things that he would teach us and show us. And so it was like, for me, it was like, man, I'm sitting amongst so much greatness. And so I just started to just soak it up. And from there, he gave me the opportunity to go different places and fly different places and tell different people about me. And that was a blessing. And that's the type of person that Russell True is.
Yeah.
He sees beyond what we see within ourselves. We may see ourselves as just, oh, I'm just a stylist, oh, I'm just a barber, but he sees beyond that. And not only do he see it, he allows you an opportunity. And that's sometimes what some people don't get, is that opportunity, because sometimes we only need that one shot to get to the next level.
And Russell True has been instrumental. Some guys, Roderick the Gauge is on here now talking about, you don't find many people, or you can't get in a group of people and someone not have been influenced positively by Russell True in some form or fashion. Yeah. So do you have a little bit about his background and where he came from?
Oh, listen, if anybody knows, everybody knows that True is from Louisiana, and he's from
and what part of
small town called Zarita.
Yes, ma'am.
If you didn't know nothing else, you knew that Russell True was from Louisiana, small town called DeRitta.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you think back, you know, he started in the 70s. He started back in 1972,
Mm-hmm.
which for me, that's before I was even born. I wasn't born till 78.
Wow.
You know, I'm 46. So if I'm 46, he's been doing this over 46 years.
Mm-hmm.
So before I was born, he was doing this. And that just shows you how much wisdom that he has. And so he's from DeRitta, Louisiana. Everybody knows where he's from. Listen.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he is definitely a you know, navigates through the South, you know, Louisiana, Texas, you know, everybody knows what's true down in those parts.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely.
Mhm.
So when you met him, what product line was he with at that time?
Oh my goodness, he was with V Violet. It was a product line called V Violet.
Okay.
That was, I think they were based out of Tennessee. He was also he had at that time, of course, he had his world famous air
Yeah.
freshener. We
Okay.
cannot, we cannot, we cannot. You know, that should have been the first thing I
First thing
led
you
with.
said, right?
The world famous Dead Gangster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Still
yes,
selling
to
today.
this day. So he had V Violet. He had a product called
I
Cleo product
remember
line.
Cleo.
So
Yeah.
I came up around that time, you know, which was the time, you know, the times of when, you know, Big Bad D and Barry Fletcher and
Mm-hmm.
MC Razor when they were on the scene. So I came up around that time and he was pushing, I mean, he had BBD products, Cleo products, you know, Bronner Brothers products. So
Yes.
he was the man with the plan when it came to products.
Yeah. 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 And in that van, he traveled all around all those little cities and hit them up, and we'd be looking for him, right? He's
Uh-huh.
like, she ought to be here tomorrow, y'all. Get your stuff, get your money right, because he didn't play by his money either.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I'm reading. He gave us a little bit of information. It says he started out with somebody put him in business. Elite Beauty Supply, put him in business with $3,000 worth of product, and
Wow. Yeah.
right now that's really nothing. I don't even know if you can really get started with $3,000 doing the scale of work that Mr. Chu did.
Yeah.
That would be just totally impossible. But I
Yes.
think his personality and, like you said, he actually has a gift of spotting talent and then supporting people in what it is, seeing your strengths and that, like you said, that you may not even see in yourself, that he can
Yes.
just pull that out of you and make you do things, and you turn around and be like, oh wow, I can do that, I can do that. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I thought of even trying to put into words the who he is and what he's done as far as accomplishments and how he's touched so many lives. You know, there are so many different pockets because when we think about from an industry perspective, that's one thing. But then when we think about from a community perspective,
Mm,
it's just a whole different thing. You know, and when I sat back and kind of thought of it, yes, we know him as that businessman that do so much for the industry, but then I thought about so many things that he do for the community. You know, I think back, you know, he's a man of multi businesses, and you know, he had beauty supplies all throughout
that re-
the country, multi cities, you
mm-hmm.
know. And then when you think about the community, he brought that show to Lake Charles. When he brought that show to Lake Charles, Louisiana, which, you know, Choose Multicultural Hair Fair, you know, no one ever heard of Lake Charles. But because of that one individual, Russell True, he brought people from all across
The country.
the country
Yeah,
to come right to Lake Charles. And I think from a community perspective, that was something to bring to Lake Charles.
yeah,
They had never seen anything like that, to see people from all over the world that's in the beauty industry with so much talent.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I'm sure that had a positive economic impact on the city of Lake Charles as well.
Yeah,
because y'all know
absolutely.
hairstylists come in and we gonna spend some money, and they Lake Charles, the other good thing was the casino is right up the
Right.
street, so it was like, okay. We going down the Choose show because we gonna learn some stuff, but we also gonna have a good time. He had some of the best hair battles and competitions going, gave out the best kind of prizes. I mean, just was it so instrumental
Yes.
in building the businesses and bringing other people along with him. That's the other thing about him, is that he
Hmm.
is selfless when it comes to what he gives. He just has a huge heart, and just helps just about anyone. If you're willing to accept it, he'll
Yes.
help you. If you're not, then
Yes, yes, yes. That is
he,
so true.
he will cut you off. Yeah, yeah. I think, and like I said, I read the article that someone sent me about him, and it's true that and I find it, for me, especially at this age, that my word is my bond. And
Hmm.
I think now people don't get that. And if your word is your bond,
Hmm.
then you develop a trust, and people begin to seek you out, because basically he's not going to tell you something that he can't do.
Exactly.
And if he can't do it, he going to tell you.
He gonna he
He
gonna tell you.
gonna tell you he
Absolutely.
can't do it.
Absolutely.
So I
Hmm.
think that's something that we all should consider when we're doing business these days, is that
Hmm.
if you say you're gonna do it, do it. If you can't, that's okay too.
Yes.
Just say that I can't do it, or that I'm gonna try. I'm not sure how this gonna quite work out.
Right.
With a spirit like yours, you someone brings you something new, and most of us in the industry, that's just our spirit.
Hmm.
We
Yes.
Because we're creatives, we tend to,
Hmm.
okay, let me see if I can do it or not. But you have, like,
Absolutely.
been so instrumental in
Yes.
bringing so many people, so many careers, helping people to establish themselves in this industry, and successful people within this
Absolutely.
industry.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's one of the great things, with even speaking on success, to just know that the people lives that he's touched. I can look now with just individuals I know, that how they're doing so great, and to know that they're offsprings of him.
Mm-hmm,
And you definitely said a lot when you said, as far as his word is his bond. And that was one of the things he taught us, was to always have integrity.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot of what has been lost in that industry, because now some of the way that the industry goes is no integrity. But you taught us that. He taught us to have integrity. He taught us to have your word is your bond. He taught us that if nothing else, when you tell somebody something, that's what you do. And
Yeah, yeah,
his main thing was, all things are possible. All things are
yeah,
possible.
yeah.
And that's a lot of what I see, within him, is that's what he taught. And he has so many offsprings of people that are doing so great
Uh-huh.
in the industry. It's just like, so, they call him the Godfather, the Godfather of the industry.
Yeah.
Well, that he was. He really was.
He is the Godfather of the industry, and he wears that. He's earned that
He's
title,
He's
earned
earned
that
it.
because
time.
I'm just so thankful, because the opportunity that he gives individuals, we don't know where we would be without
Mhm.
him. Where would our
Yeah.
careers be without him? With him just giving us a platform, or giving us, that stage when we wasn't even polished. We didn't even know the right things to say. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know the right clothing to wear. But he taught you how to be. You got to be well dressed, and that's one thing they'll say. Even in his bio, how he was always well dressed. He was
Mm-hmm.
gonna be in a suit. He was gonna be sharp as a tack every time you seen him,
Yeah.
and that's what he taught us. So yes, I know there's so many people that, because of his legacy, has went on to do a lot of great things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So look, guys, we're honoring Russell Chu. If you want to meet the Godfather, the icon
Yes.
of the beauty industry, actually, I believe Chu is known in all corners of these United States. So if you'd like to meet him, pick his brain on some things, he gave me a connect here in Houston that I didn't even know was here. And I kind of pride myself on thinking I kind of have my finger on the pulse of what's happening here in Houston. Q turned me on to something. I was like, oh, okay, just the other day. and I'm following up because when Q says it, it's almost the gospel. So I'm following up on that. I have an appointment with him on Wednesday. So Mr. Q knows what's going on. He still has activities going on, like I said, in the pulse of the community, especially the Black hair care community. Absolutely. So we've got to pull ourselves together and come back to some of the things that we used to do. Let's just put that modern twist on them. Everything changes and evolves a little bit. The great thing I can say about Russell Chu is that he has adapted and changed with the industry so that he stays relevant. And he's still relevant to this day, which is a testament within itself on pivoting and making things happen. So, yeah, so I want to thank you so very much for gracing us with this information today. Again, we'll give Mr. Chu his honors on Saturday, October 5th. Just before the sneaker ball. So we're going to honor him, give him his flowers and love on him for the things that he's done and instilled in a lot of our lives that are here in the beauty industry and successful. So Dr. Tish Sutton, we're going to have you back because we need more from you. This lady is now investing in real estate. She's a hairstylist and she's a successful real estate investor doing some major things. We are making this money. We gotta get ours, y'all. We gotta get it. And there's some things that we didn't know, my generation, that we just didn't know. And now we know. So when you know better, you should do better. And so Dr. Sutton's going to come back and teach us a little bit on how to do a little bit better. So again, I thank you so very much for gracing us with your presence and your knowledge of Russell Chu. So thank you so very much. We'll be in touch soon. If you can, look, we down here in Houston the weekend of October 5th through the 7th. Would love to have you, but we'll talk.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Much success. Send me the information. I'll definitely spread it.
Okay.
You know, I know it's going to be an amazing time. So, yes, send me the information, and I would love to get it out to all of my outlets to let people know about it, that they need to be in Houston. Yes. They need to be in Houston.
All right. Yes. We thank you for that.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right. You too. All right. Bye-bye. And next we have coming up, nice sofa. Oh, thank God. And wait a minute, every time I see her, she has a new hair color. Every time.
Yes, I do. That makes it so different. I'm sorry. I had my whole computer set up and I don't know what happened. So I'm having to switch my device here.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful. Things are going well with you?
Everything is going amazing. Been busy, of course. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't, but it's going amazing. I'm really excited about your event, of course, from the 5th to the 7th. I'm really excited to see you. I was listening to Miss Tish, and I want to just say as well, I had a chance to work with you as well. So much homage to him, for sure. Much homage to him.
Much. That's what I tell most of us, like I say, if you from this southern region, somehow he has touched your life. And if he didn't touch it, he was still in the realm where he made probably a positive impact on you. Yeah.
Most definitely.
So you're going to come to Houston and do a cut color.
So I'm actually coming to Houston. I am doing my K-Shears. Yes! I am doing my K-Shears color boot camp, guys. So the purpose of this boot camp is not just for stylists. It's really, really, really triggering barbers as well. I've had a chance myself to work with some great barbers there in Houston. One is Roderick, the Gage, and some other barbers as well, just to kind of get them into the color world, just so they're not making just money behind the chair from cutting, but also incorporating coloring. And most time when barbers take coloring, it's like all the way over their head. So I actually customize my system that I actually train and teach barbers and stylists how to actually color, not based on a product brand, but based on foundation, like the color wheel, you know, things like that, like underlining pigment, like understanding the hair and the why of color, of why it's actually going that way. So that's the purpose of my class. Most definitely going to talk about color consultation, because that's like the beginning of everything. Like when you get in your car, you got to get your guard, get inside your car, put your seatbelt on. So it's like the main foundation for sure. And also the hiccups of where stylists and barbers make their mistakes in the beginning, instead of finding at the end, and then you wind up losing a client, or the client hair winds up getting damaged. So just understanding that. And of course, I color wheel. I don't even call it color theory. I call it the color theory, because I really want people to understand seriously, like, and it's crazy because you can be in a room with stylists that's been in the industry for 15, 20 years, or stylists that have been in the industry for 3 or 4 years. But every time someone takes my class, they're taking away something away from it, and something that's going to be more on a much cleaner, much understanding of color.
A clearer vision of color and what
most
it does.
Definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely. So, and there's some people that teach color, and I myself have been, before I became an educator, have sat in classes. I'm just totally like, okay, I leave the class, I heard what they said, but I'm not truly understanding what they're saying. And color is not going to be you wake up the next morning and you're good. It's going to be consistency. It's going to be an everyday practice, especially if you want to be great or be good in color. And you're not stopping your money flow. That means anybody walk through your door, no matter what race, what creed, you can be able to still perform that task and continue making your money behind the chair as well.
Awesome. So tell me how you got started in this beautiful business of beauty.
Well, my mother, Miss Denise Benjamin, she actually, we're originally from like Milwaukee, Chicago area, and we moved to Texas. So she was like the first one ever in Killeen to do like extensions. We moved to Killeen, Texas in like 1987.
So was that
military? So she, in Killeen, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my mother, she's in the industry as well. She took me to her. You know how you got to get your license, you have to bring a model with you. I was like 4 years old at state board with pigtail because her model canceled. So yeah. So my mother has been in the industry for sure. Matter of fact, we work in the salon still together to this day. So she has been a huge stamper of that. And so from there, I wound up getting married and moving away. And so I wanted to make sure that I had something that I understood, especially with doing hair. So I captured that, had a chance to travel, had a chance to do different kind of educations with different companies, and the fact that I found like my niche. I always tell people this, in this industry, what keeps you relevant is finding that niche. I do a lot of things. I do cutting, I do coloring, I do everything, but my niche is what I tell even my students, that's what you want to consistently educate yourself on, because that niche always changes within the industry. Color is going to always change because you have different people coming out with different things. You got the food, you got what you're intaking in your body. Things like that also, results on your final results of your color services as well. So we talk about things like that in my class. And then once I became an educator with the different companies, I decided myself that I wanted to put together a program, which is my Bootcamp, that's going to make it more simplified to understanding the meaning and the why of color. This is kind of a quick thing about me.
Okay, cool. So you've been, how long have you been in the industry?
I have been in the industry for 26 years.
And you're only 28.
Exactly. I wish, honey. I'm actually 48.
You just had a birthday.
I did. I'm actually 48. And I tell people say, you're 48 years old. Like, what do you do? Try to walk in what God lead me to. Your happiness is what your desire is. And wherever God is going to lead you to, that's what you're going to be happy in.
Yeah.
And I tell anybody that, you got to be happy in what you do. And I love it. I tell people I walk in it, I eat in it, I sleep in it, I change. I think my hair was pink last week. Before you watch me on my
I'm
Facebook,
watching you.
I'm always changing my color because I'm a my own walking advertisement.
Right?
You know, and if I can do it, they like, well, how in the world do you do that? Come to my class and I'll tell you.
Okay. I can show you better than I can tell you, so come on.
Exactly.
Cool. You also do a lot of you have another kind of boot camp.
I do. I also do a lot of mentor for my teens as well. I am really into mentoring teens, especially young girls and guys as well. And the reason being is because even people coming through COVID, hairstylists, when you have a trade, I tell my teens, hey, even when you go to college, I'm not saying don't go to college. Do you know how much money you can make if you had a trade? If you understood how to do your own hair, healthy hair care, braiding, weaving. But if you want to do it, let's set you up for success. Let's teach you the correct way. So my K-Share teen boot camp was amazing. We did the first one in the summertime. We got interviewed by the news people as well. So it was in the newspaper. And I've had a lot of like mothers reach out to me, when is the next boot camp? Because not only are we giving them skill sets, we also are teaching them about their business, how to start their business, how to still sustain in your business, how to market your business. And then I always tell them what makes your business relevant. So we're leaving a huge impact on these young girls. So I'm really excited about that. Our next one is actually going to be in the summertime, and then we're going to follow up in the fall with just kind of a follow-up, and also just keep them abreast of what's going on within the industry.
Okay.
Most definitely.
All right. Someone say something about some grants were amazing.
Oh, yes, we did. We had some grants from we actually had a bank that actually donated them grants for them, like $100 for them to even open up account, for them to even get started, maybe like make business cards. Hey, use it towards your marketing. I have my COO. She's amazing in our business. So it takes a team to build a tribe. And I tell people that all the time. It's not just me. You see me in the limelight, but I have an amazing marketing coordinator. I have an amazing COO. So, and I just feel that when you have that strong team, it actually shows within that person as well, within the leader, for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so you travel around the country still doing?
I do. I travel. I did New York Fashion Week, beginning of the year.
Yep.
That was amazing. I didn't do it the second quarter because I have a lot of education coming up at the end, finishing up the year strong. But I plan on doing it again next year.
Did you do hair? What'd you do there? What'd you do at Fashion Week?
At New York Fashion Week, I was actually the lead assist for a team name. Yeah. So I got a chance to be the lead assist. So it was really exciting. So I got a chance to meet some amazing artists, got a chance to meet some amazing designers. And I feel that doing like New York Fashion Week is something that it's a real good stamper to have behind you, because it looks great. For one, it looks great on your resume. Hello.
That.
It looks great on your resume, of course.
Okay.
But also having that experience, take every experience day by day, because life is short.
Yeah.
You follow me? Yeah. So for sure.
Yeah. So I know you're the person who will, if the opportunity presents itself, y'all come to the class. But if the opportunity presents itself, I know you take advantage of the opportunities. I think the more you are open to that, the more God places in front of you to do. And that's how we grow. And that's how we, like you were talking about the products and the hair color. People don't even think about, if technology changes, so does the hair color formulation. So you have to stay relevant and live with that and breathe it and keep changing and evolving with it, because everything changes. Everything does. And even if you know something, to learn a little bit of something else, or even how not to do it if they screw up, it's still a lesson. It's still a lesson.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I run into people, like I said before, they come to my class, and at first they come in, you go to a show, they first come in because they not quite know who you are, and they walk in for a little bit, and then they be like, they want to leave. They be like, hold on a minute. Did she just say what I think she said? Like, did she just break down to me about the level 8 and what if things like that? Like, they be absolutely wild, because when you go to most educational color classes, they are so talking above your head. They don't bring it down to reality.
Yeah.
People, when you're teaching, people want to be able to be entertained. They want to be able to take something away from them. And at the end of the day, when stylists leave, they want to be able to make money, what you just got to finish telling them. Take something, especially how the industry is going now. And color is going to always be here. Color and cuts. Color and cuts.
Yes.
Mainstream income for sure.
Yeah. So primarily, like you said, so you're dealing a lot with barbers now who are venturing. Barbers are killing the game right now. You just got to give it to them.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And they're doing so much, like with the male grooming, even with like cuts and detailing. You know, barbers' tickets are tripling. If a barber they take this cut and now they didn't add color to it and detail, you're talking about a 3 times the increase right there in one ticket item.
Yeah.
And so my boot camps and my training, that's what I help with barbers do. Try to help them, because with men, and I tell people all the time, men and women, they learn totally different. Guys, it's like, what you got? Give it to me. Show me how it goes, where I buy it.
Okay.
That's it.
Cut it dry.
Just cut it dry. Just simple, straight to the point. And that's the thing with barbers. But the thing that barbers are too, they're hungry. And they want to learn, and they want to make that money. They want to just cut and color, and that's it. They want it. It's just who's giving it to them. Me.
Okay, I was going to say, I think we got the lady right here who's giving it all to them.
I mean, it's very fluid. Great.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. So we just talked about the barber industry booming and doing very well. What do you think is happening on the Cosmo side?
I think that we're not more in class. I think that more education now is coming through social media, meaning like the YouTube University. Don't get me wrong, people are going to be YouTubers, that's fine. YouTube University and all other things like that. I think that the excitement and the yearn of in classroom and actually being somewhere in a classroom is dwindling. I don't think that a stylist is investing back into our education like we need to be investing into our education. I feel sometimes as stylists that we want everything to be given to us, but we don't want to give it back. Nope. You know, it's a hand over hand.
It needs to be a exchange. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel that also as long as I do color as well, I also talk about hair care. I think that a lot of us, not all of us, a lot of us now is like, hey, yeah, we need to really, really get back to hair care, like shampooing, like conditioning, like treatments. Okay? And I'm saying that very strongly. Because we veered away from it. And so that's why we have a high range of alopecia. That's why we have a lot of range of older women in 60s and 50s. They're losing their hair because we don't want to shampoo. We don't want to condition. We don't want to trim ends. Some people don't even like to use grease. I mean, I'm not saying to go get no blue match. I'm just saying there's different kind of lubricants you can be able to use for feeding the hair. And I just think that now how this industry is going, everybody wants it to be a quick fix. They want to be in and out real quick. No, treatments take time, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You got to go under a dryer. Okay, we'll give you a book. A good shampoo, it takes time. Everybody's now on a revolving door. And all we have to do is slow down and get back to what we know, which is the healthy hair care.
Yeah.
You're going to get the extensions. You're going to get the wigs. You're going to get the weaves. But I tell people this all the time. What if we had no import and no output? What if we couldn't get extension hair? I would say it's gonna be a lot of stylists messed up because they just so much rely. I know, look at her laughing. They much so rely on it that they so used to having a revolving door, they don't even know where to begin. And that's what I'm saying. I think that if we take that back as a hair industry and get back into hair, let's get to mentoring some of these new stylists coming up. Don't run from them. Take them under your wing.
Yeah,
you know, I'm doing with I'm doing stylists too. Take them under your wing, because what's happening is that what they're seeing what's on TV. They're not seeing like when the TV off, people got to go home. You take that wig off, and they only have little rice hair. I'm just saying.
I can't stand you. Okay.
I'm very
Okay.
thankful.
Okay. All right. I wanted it real. You gave it. You served it, dude. You served that. You served that. Yeah.
You know, and that's just it. But just getting back into hair care, and I'm really excited about this expo because I see the versatility you're bringing, just texture, healthy hair care, color, profiting behind the chair, and you know, increasing in your revenue, barbering classes, everything like that. So people need to come.
Yeah.
People need
Definitely.
to come. And you know, you don't have to fly to New York, or you need to come locally, support,
Yes.
because what if you didn't have it? I'm just
Yeah. So,
saying.
like
Don't
you
be
said,
mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just a, you know,
I'm just a messenger. You
I'm
you do with it what you
just a
want.
messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So, like she said, we have, I believe we have a great lineup of people that are coming to the show. I'm a cosmetologist. My cohort here, Jeanette, is a cosmetologist, specializing in hair color as well. But uh, just trying to bring back and give us a it's time to make that shift. And every so often things shift. I think now is the prime time for us to make that shift. And like you said, some of
Yeah.
us more mature stylists who've been in the game for 15, 20, 30, 40 years.
Put them up.
Let's pull people up. Because I was citywide, the Hairstylists Association. I was looking through the books of their archives today, and I was like, oh my God, I remember when I was the young one, and I thought about it. I was like, when did I get to be the oldest person in the room? And y'all looking at me by advice. That gets a little scary. But I had great women to take me under their wing and to
Yes.
teach us the game and to teach us how to navigate the landscape. And nothing really changes. It just comes back around in a new shape or color. But the basics, they stay the same. They stay the
But
same.
the thing is, we lose it because we tried it. Because people, what they do is we lose it because we know the primary colors are, we know the secondary colors are, we know what they pose to be. But then we're gonna say, well, somebody say put this and this and this and this, we're gonna change red. How?
Yeah.
So you gotta stick with the foundation. It's like building a house. I tell people all the time, it's like a house. You got a strong foundation. Can't no kind of wind, no storm, no nothing knock that foundation down. But if that foundation, if the house is knocked down, the foundation gonna stay. All the stuff in the house is gonna be gone. So I tell people, like, when you look at colors, you got your foundation. All the stuff in your house is your products. If you decide to change your products out, guess what? You still got that strong foundation.
Yeah. Yeah. Great analogy. Great
You
analogy.
got to think about it like that.
Yeah.
Everything changes. The foundation and education and a strong understanding never can tell. I tell people all the time, you can cut off my limbs, but I still got this.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So thank you. I'm excited. Guys, we need you to go and sign up for her class.
Yeah.
At BUOR.com is the website. But we need y'all to come and make this a great show. We have a great lineup of people. You can tell by the people that we've been bringing on, just awesome educators, and I'm grateful that they have agreed to participate in the show. Because look, I'm not as great as they are when it comes to doing the hair and stuff, but I got some people that
Yes, you are.
are great at what they do, and they care. And that's the other thing, they do care. So if you're looking for some mentors, if you're looking for some people you can talk to and just ask those questions that you may be a little embarrassed to ask someone else, these people are regular people, and their passion, their goal is to keep the industry alive and well. So you asking them questions and picking their brain is what they actually get off to. So you want to make them happy, ask them some questions. Ask them questions. Ask the ones you think are hard questions, because they want to figure that out. And if they don't know, trust me, they calling you back, because they going to figure it out for you. So again, guys, great education. Kiwana, love you. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you.
Can't wait to meet you in person.
Thank you. Right? You guys, get your tickets. Get your tickets. I'm guaranteeing you this is going to be a class you do not want to miss out on. Dropping gems, making some money, kick open or end out your 2024 strong and kick open 2025 stronger.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Love
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
We'll talk, but we'll see you first week
Yes,
of
ma'am.
October. All right. Love it.
All right.
Love it.
Enjoy
Bye-bye.
your evening.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, K. Cheers. All right.
Okay. All right. So, guys, that kind of wraps it up for us tonight. Remember to go to beautyounderoneroof.com. Look at some things. We had Rhonda O'Neill on from Beyond the Comb. She'll probably be on in a week or so,
Yes.
talking about that film industry. If y'all want to get some of those coins, you're looking for a way to pivot in your career,
Yeah.
these people will be live at
Yes.
BUOR Live the weekend of October 5th through the 7th. Come get the knowledge, come get the information, and take it home and make more money. That's our
Exactly.
whole goal. So, Jeanette, we good?
We're
We got
good.
something else we
I
all
mean, this
right.
was really great.
This
So much
has been a great
information. Time
evening.
went by too fast.
Yeah. And we try not to go too long. I didn't even check time. Oh, we're right on time.
Right on time.
Right on time. So, guys, thank you. BeautyUnderOneRoof.com, 832-303-1583, or DM me if you got questions. Well, we'd love to hear from you. We'll see you guys Tuesday evening, 8 p.m., with more great people and great conversation about the beauty industry. Thank you so very much.
All
See you
right.
guys on Tuesday.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone. All right. Bye-bye.